Murang'a Senator Joe Nyutu has issued a stern statement while speaking on TV47 Morning Cave early in the morning. Nyutu said that when former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua met with the PLP party leader Martha Karua, the Kenya Kwanza government call it tribalism. Others call it nationalism. That the Kenya Kwanza had a problem when the Mount Kenya leaders met and put their differences aside. That now, when President William Ruto met with KANU chairperson Gideon Moi, that was now a regional reconciliation. Brothers meeting to agree together. That it is ironic that everything that touches Mount Kenya is seen to be tribalism or tribal. That other parts of the country, when people does their own things, they call it reconciliation and progress. That it is very lovable for the Kenya Kwanza government to have said so. Listen to him.
I want to tell you, and I would want Honorable Ote to refute this. You know, every time maybe two or more leaders from Mount Kenya, come together and look for one another. That's tribalism. And that is that is a narrative that President Ruto and his supporters have been perpetuating. So, Rigathi Gachagua, when he meets Martha Karua, that's tribalism. But when Gideon Moi and Ruto, who are both Kalenjin, now look for one another, they come together, that is national reconciliation, or, building nationhood. So what we are saying is, ideally, from where I see it, I have no problem with the President Ruto looking for Gideon Moi. The only problem I have is where, from our region, when leaders come together, it is branded, tribalism. And that is something that I really have taken issue with. And now I hear that Gideon Moi is going to be given a cabinet slot. And remember, as per our constitution, Fred, we cannot exceed a number of 22 cabinet secretaries. So, of course, there are some casualties that are going to be there, if that is the plan. To accommodate Gideon, of course, there are people who will lose their seat. And we can only wait and see.
Joe Nyutu further said, the death of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga has dismantled the unity in ODM. That the political orphans of Raila Amolo Odinga, who used his name to gain politically, are now suffering. That there is immense consequences where the ODM party populace was ruling when Raila Amolo Odinga was still alive. The parts like Nyanza, parts like Western, and parts like Coastal, that when it comes to the unity of ODM, there is nobody who can unite ODM in such a way that the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga CGH would unite them. That in this particular period, the loss of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is unmatched. And the shoes that Odinga used to wear, nobody in ODM would come close. He only said, Babu can reach quarter, but not full. But indeed he said that the ODM is facing a lot of immense pressure. That the ODM will not secure votes in totality the way Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga used when it comes to election.
What he has not lost. Of course, we live in this country. And so I can tell you that for Western, Ruto had already lost that a long time ago. And there is evidence all over, Fred. You will see the way people like Natembea, who are opposed to Ruto, of course, and his government are received. That is why you will see Boni Khalwale, who is the whip, the majority whip in the national, in the Senate, of course, hitting on this government like nobody's business, because he knows people are not with this government. So the only thing that I think, the only places that I think will change is especially Luo Nyanza, because everybody must agree that Raila Amolo Odinga had that grip on Luo Nyanza votes and politics that may not, that any other leader may not have in the very near future. It will take time, because even Raila Amolo Odinga took time to build it. So what then that means in my thinking is that now everybody can go to Luo Nyanza and campaign and have some hope of maybe convincing a few people, because there is no leader now holding that tight grip. That is the only thing that I see changing. Of course, cost also could change, that now the grip, because again, Raila Amolo Odinga had a very strong, a very firm grip on the votes of Coast Province. So now, without Raila Amolo Odinga, then it means that now Coast Province will be open for everybody. Because there will be nobody holding that kind of, of grip. And so things are going to change. And I have said it elsewhere also, that anybody who also thrived on, attacking and bedeviling and, disparaging Raila Amolo Odinga.
That there was those sincere votes and genuine supporters of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, whether day, whether night. They will vote for him, even if he wanted to vie for president 20 times. Pop is nose to the Tanzanian elections. That currently, today, the Tanzanian government or the Tanzanian people are now heading to the ballot to elect their president today. But in what it seems to be is not an election. It is just a coronation of Mama Samia Suluhu as the second-term president again. Since Mama Samia Suluhu has locked competitors in prison, the likes of Tundu Lissu, who is now fighting with a treason case when the election are ahead, that the CCM, Chama cha Mapinduzi, owns its legacy to their president Nyerere. That the likes of Kenya Samia Suluhu are just joyriders, but the legacy of CCM stands at the shoulders of Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Watch it.
It's not the philosophy of the party, the philosophy of Nyerere. Because you will realize that it will not tell you about the other presidents that have come under CCM, after Nyerere. They will tell you their loyalty to Nyerere, not the party. And so they feel that anybody going against CCM is going against Nyerere. Which tells you that it's not the policies or the manifesto of CCM that they vote for. They actually vote for Nyerere. And actually that reminds me that there are some people who said last week, and allow me, because I've not been here since the passing on of the late Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, to pass my condolences to the family and friends. But they